The Iroquois tribes went down in history as America's fiercest and bloodiest warriors. Unspoken, reserved, and unpredictable, they were always ready for battle. The first Europeans called them Romans of the American woods, or Super Indians. Who were they and how did they earn their fame? People of the Long House. In the first place, the Iroquois tribes were a step above the development of their neighbors. They built long multi-family houses and surrounded their village with several rows of palisades. The Iroquois cities were fortified forts surrounded by gardens, vegetable gardens, and fields. Before the arrival of Europeans, they inhabited a vast territory in parts of present-day Canada and the United States, creating a relatively large Indian state by the 17th century. Despite the warrior cult, the Iroquois social organization was a classical matriarchy. The tribes were headed by women. After marriage, the man moved to his wife, and the children inherited the mother's clan. Each clan owned its own longhouse. It could be up to 90 meters long and depended on the number of kin families living there. There were up to 100 such houses in a village. The cornfields around the village covered thousands of hectares, and the crops were stored in special granaries and barns. It is true that men were neglectful of farming. Their lot was hunting and fishing, as well as warfare. They always appeared unexpectedly and spared no one. Being born fighters, they considered their aggressiveness and ferocity as military prowess, and sought only one goal: to get scalps and glory. Their characteristic appearance was given by a specific hairstyle, a scalp strand, a comb of upright hair thickly greased with grease. Iroquois means true vipers, a name they got from their less belligerent neighbors who suffered constant raids. By the 17th century, a union of 5 tribes was forming a separate state, the Iroquois League. They actively traded with the emerging Dutch, trading beaver skins for firearms. The emergence of rifles finally tilted the military success. On the side of the Iroquois, the Huron and Erie Indians were practically exterminated by them. The Iroquois did not have a standing army. It was up to each man to decide whether to go to war or not. Usually a military unit ranged from 500 to 1,000 men. They were armed with bows and arrows, spears, tomahawks, and rifles. Such a detachment would sneak up on the enemy's camp and attack unexpectedly from all sides. Sometimes boats were used as protection, behind which warriors covered themselves from return fire. They also served as ladders if the fortress had to be stormed. There was a strict discipline in the campaign. One of the most unsightly aspects of military culture was slavery, as well as ritual cannibalism. It is true that such customs deprived the enemy of his courage even before the battle began. The Europeans brought discord to the measured life of the Iroquois. The trade in furs and skins forced the Iroquois to wage constant wars, seizing booty to sell later. These wars were called Hog Wars. The final defeat of the Iroquois League was brought about by American General Sullivan using his advantage in arms. He managed to drive the militant Indians into reservations. At present, the Iroquois are trying to achieve independence, although their heroic past is a thing of the past.